Hi guys, this is Daryl and this is the Fit Tip of today. In today's segment, I want to show you a great exercise for developing the upper pectoral area. Whenever we work the upper pectorals, it's a little bit more of an angle issue because the angle has to be correct. Otherwise, if they're off a little bit, then you're either going to work anterior deltoid or you're going to work more the middle or the lower part of the pectoral. So the upper pectoral, you want to have the displacement of the energy at a particular angle so you can really get the emphasis of the muscle fibers firing off in that angle. So the key to this exercise is really the angle point and also the hand positioning on the dumbbells. This is the Dumbbell Incline Chest Press. This is an exercise that I learned from Vince Gironda. The way I do it is the way that he taught me. So there might be some different variations out there, but I want to show you the way that I learned, and hopefully this will be something that you'll incorporate into your training. It's a great exercise. Again, the emphasis is really on the angle of the bench. Now, there's been some different controversy about the angles of certain exercises, but this particular exercise, it works best at about a 25 to 30 degree angle on the bench. Not only was this something that Vince thought of, it's also something that Larry Scott used as well. So Larry Scott developed a bench that was actually designed to go 25 degrees, and I actually had that bench. So it's a 25 degree angle for myself. Some benches that are out there only go 30 degrees, so you can still use that. It's only a very small difference, but it seems to work well for me. So I want to show you the exercise. Hopefully this is something you're going to like and incorporate into your own training. So here's the exercise. So what we want to do here is just obviously have the angle set, 25 to 30 degrees. You're going to grab your dumbbells. Now what I like to do is put the thumb on the same side as the fingers. That's just my own preference. It also takes the stress and the intensity off the brachioradialis, so I can't overpower with my thumb. So I like to keep the thumb on the same side as the fingers. And what you're going to do, you're going to lie back. And to start, you're going to touch the bells together, touch all bells together at the top here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring the dumbbells down, and you're going to keep the dumbbells facing each other the entire time. So you're going to come down, and so I'm not turning my hands at all. I'm staying right here, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of contracting the back as tight as possible, and then I'm going to exhale and push up, and then touch the bells back together again. So you're coming down, the dumbbells are facing each other, you get the stretch to the pectorals, and then exhale and contract. And again, you come back down, you want to get the stretch, so you drop the elbows, and then you come up and squeeze tight at the top here, and then you come back down, you inhale, you want to stretch, exhale, and you're contracting the upper pectorals as tightly as possible as you're coming up. So the key to this exercise is really getting the forceful contraction, working the intermuscular contractions as well. But if you notice my arms, I'm not turning. Some guys turn in here, and then they'll come up and turn the dumbbells in together as they go up to the top. And I find that that's a wasted energy exercise, because what happens when your hands are down here like this, and you're turning, it doesn't really do anything for the pectorals. As you can see, it doesn't really change the pattern on the pectorals. It just kind of changes, and you actually get the contraction when you're coming up as you turn them in. So when you're facing the dumbbells together, as you come back down, you're getting this stretch through the pectorals, and then you're going to exhale, and you're pushing back through using the upper pectorals. So that's the idea of this exercise. And there's also some controversy because I bring my elbows way down. And I don't know who came up with this rule that you have to stay at 90 degrees. You know, this idea, if you have to stay exactly at 90 degrees and then only stop there and go up. But I find that it works best for me because I don't have any shoulder problems. I've never had any shoulder problems. But I can actually come down and get this stretch. And you can see the pectorals really stretch further rather than just stopping at 90 degrees. If I stop at 90 degrees, I can put my hand on my pectoral, and it doesn't really feel like it's even doing anything. But when I come back down through here, I can really get the stretch because, remember, the pectoral attaches to the humerus. And so I want to get that stretch as much as possible. So when I come back down, I'm stretching, and then it's loading up, so it's pulling the fiber, especially at the upper pectorals. It's getting a tremendous stretch of those fibers. So as I come up, those cross bridges are as being extended as much as possible, and as I come through, I'm trying to contract and bring those cross bridges in as tight as possible. So I'm following that path of pronation, so I'm coming down through and then I'm coming up and squeezing as tight as I possibly can. So I'm staying within the parameters of the angle, and I'm coming up and contracting as tight as you possibly can and hold it at least for 1 to 2 seconds, then you come back down. So you inhale, and I'm back here, I'm contracting the scapulas. I'm trying to get them tight as possible so you can only get the reciprocal effect of the contraction in the back, and then you exhale, and then you're going to come through and squeeze the pectorals as tight as possible. So you're getting this great movement through the pectorals. And if you stop at the halfway point, which I find that it doesn't really do anything for me. So I find you have to come down, you have to pull down and squeeze the scapulas and then come up and contract the chest. That's the way Vince told me how to do it. And if you look at some of the pictures that he had his students do, you can see that the dumbbells are facing each other. They're not turned away. This is something that I find that it's extremely important, especially when you're trying to get that stretch. And I find that when you're doing it like that, when you're taking the dumbbells and you're coming down into this position, it's a much stronger position than if I were to try to go like this, come in this position here, and then push and turn. For me, that just seems like it's a lot more shoulder. And then that angle, as you come out and turning them in, doesn't really feel like it's doing much for the pectorals. You can almost see it doesn't really seem like it's stretching them at all. But when I come down through here, now I can get that stretch, kind of lock the elbows down, then exhale as you come up, and you can really see the contraction coming through that range of motion. So I always tell people if you try it, if it hurts in any way, then don't do it. I mean, that's common sense. Some people are going to probably argue, and on this video they're probably going to put their little comments below, and they're going to probably say that, you know, you should never go past 90 degrees on your elbows. I totally disagree with that. I think that in order to get that pectoral to really get that stretch reflex, that you have to get down and a little bit past here, which is fine because let me explain this to you real quick. The other day, I had my car stalled, so I had to push it. So I got behind the car, and what you do is, if you look at someone pushing a car, they put their body right against the car itself. So my body was right against the car, and I was pushing as hard as I could with my legs, you know. I wasn't concerned about where my elbows were. My elbows were way back here, and I was stretching and I was pushing. So that's the same motion. So the idea that I can only go 90 degrees, I'd have to push the car like this with my elbows at 90 degrees, trying to push out. That would be more stressful on my body than if I put my body against the whole mass of the car and start to push. So then I started to realize, wow, that makes more sense to me, that if I can push down in this position, I'm much stronger than if I'm halfway and my elbows are only 90 degrees. I mean, I feel like the body should be able to absorb a lot more than that. So if I was playing football, or if someone was coming at me and I was pushing him, they would push into me, I'd push them right back, but you're absorbing that intensity, that mass is coming at you, so you absorb it. It's the same thing when we're doing the weights. It's like, I'm not going to stop at the halfway point. You know, I'm going to take it all the way down and get that stretch. So I'm down here, so my elbows are down here, and I'm going to exhale and going to push through. And for me, it works out great. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I haven't had one shoulder problem at all doing this exercise. Matter of fact, all the exercise that I've ever worked with Vince, I have never injured myself. So it's probably not going to work for everybody, but it works great for me. Guys, you got to give it a try. If it's something that you want to incorporate into your program, I guarantee that it's going to help develop the upper pectorals. Now again, the angle of the bench has to be 25 to 30 degrees. The dumbbells have to be facing each other the entire motion. And you have to get that stretch. In order to get that, you have to contract the back. So when you contract your scapulas before you actually push the weight back up, and then you exhale, and then you contract, and you want to really focus on the intermuscular contraction. Focus on that with your mind and muscle connection so that you can really contract as hard as you can. Guys, if you do the exercise without thinking about it, it's a waste of time. So when you come up to the exercise and you sit here and you're thinking about something else, looking around, doing this type of thing, does absolutely nothing to build the chest. You're not engaged, you're not going to fire off as many motor units as you want, so it's going to totally weaken the action potential. So what we want to try to do is we want to come down and you want to constantly focus on the contraction. Focus on what the upper pectorals are doing, focus on how you want them to look, and then contract as hard as you possibly can into that as you're going up. So it's almost like you're flexing and posing through the exercise. So you come back down, you come up, and you contract. And see, I'm not even having any weight in my hands, and I can contract as hard as I can, come back down, exhale, and you can see the pectorals are firing off. If you do that with the weights in your hand, it's going to amplify the contraction. You're going to get way more motor unit activation, and therefore you're going to get better growth patterns. Guys, this is the Dumbbell Incline Chest Press. If you have any questions or you want to see more videos like this, please give me an email. You can find my email on my website at www.darylconant.com. I want to thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.